Hello, it's Ren Presents time. I'm your host, Ren, and welcome to the House of Bloodstein Meet the Characters video. I just finished narrating the sixth turn of the Shadowtech Goddess Cat, and apparently I've become addicted to hearing the sound of my own voice. I'm raring to narrate another book, and I think I'm going to do the House of Bloodstein books. There's two of them. First one is called Perlamum, and unlike Cat, the House of Bloodstein is a standalone series using characters introduced in previous books. So all the characters that you encounter in this book, the House of Bloodstein, were introduced in the Temple of the Exploding Head series several books earlier. And I really don't go into any great detail reintroducing these characters. I just sort of start. The plot starts on page 1, basically. So I added at the beginning of the book a little Meet the Characters section where optional reading, get a little info on these characters before you get started, just so you have some idea of who these people are. Plot is king, as I've been taught, and so the plot for the Bloodstein books just start, and I'm not going to trouble myself going over material I've already covered, charming as that may seem. So here is the Meet the Characters video. I'll have plenty of pictures to show in this video so you can get an idea of what these people look like. And so here we go. First character, Lord Kabyl of Blanchefort. Kay is the eldest son of Lord Davidge and Countess Sigillis of Blanchefort. Green-eyed, purple-haired, he is considered handsome like his father and beautiful like his mother. He is the next in line as Lord of the House and the de facto leader of the gang, along with his cousins Sarah and Phillip. Like his father, Kay has the gift of sight. His status as a Shadowtech male has altered his sight, changing it to the dark sight, allowing him to see and interact with objects great distances away and into the past and the future. Not overly strong, Kay was never able to lift his father's 77-pound king karg. He therefore forged a smaller karg infused with Silvertech power from his mother that he named Sammidoran after his love. After a horrendous set of tribulations in the Temple of the Exploding Head, Kay recently married Sam in a grand 5th ceremony. They are eager to bear children. Once Sam finishes her traditional Manama jar, they will begin. Next character, Lady Sammidoran of Blanchefort, an Inuian Manama of the Astralon tribe. Lady Sammidoran is the knee countess of Blanchefort, wife of Lord Kabyl. Sam dreamed of her love, Kay, from the time she was a little girl. Even before he was born, he came to her every night in her dreams, and she fell in love. She also knew that she would be turned into a berserkicide monster one day by the horrid Horned God and would die by Kay's hand. Planning for years, she devised a successful scheme to thwart death involving a machine of great power. Using the machine, Sam was returned from the dead. Sam is an Inuian Manama, very rare in the league these days. She is much bigger than the standard Konox Manamas. Buxom, solid, standing about 6 feet tall. She is bone white, with a massive head of black Manama hair that goes all the way down to her ankles. Her eyes, like all her people, are completely black, including the eye whites. She was incredibly strong, much stronger than a standard elder, and fast as a deer. Her fingernails, hard as iron, can be deadly weapons should she choose to make use of them. In an unusual role reversal, Sam is the muscle of the gang, while Kay is the swordsman/trickster. She is also extremely susceptible to the cold of the north. She must wear an arcane Silvertech medallion called Snugs to protect her from the cold. Without the medallion, she would quickly die. Sam loves life at Castle Blanchefort and maintains a comically combative relationship with Kay's cousin Sarah, though Sam loves her as a sister. Sam tends to consider herself a Vith lady, casting aside her Manama roots. Sam is working to finish her jar, otherwise any male children she might have would die. As Manamas are extremely fecund, Sam wears a protective bolabung to prevent her from becoming pregnant until the jar is finished. The next character, Lady Sarah of Blanchefort. Lady Sarah is the eldest daughter of Lady Poe of Blanchefort and Lord Peter of Ruthven. She is the twin sister of Phillip of Blanchefort. She loves to tell people she's 10 minutes older than Phillip. A typical Blanchefort, Sarah is tall and slender with a head of Vith blue hair she doesn't fuss with much. Just pulled back into a simple ponytail with bangs is her typical style. Hating gowns, Sarah always wears boys' clothes, boots, pants, a sturdy shirt, and her trusty black duster, similar to the coat her father, Lord Peter, once wore during his pirating days. Her best friends are her brother, Phillip, and their cousin Kay. They have been inseparable their whole lives. Their favorite hangout is the Mystery Library, a well-organized space Sarah built on the 50th floor of Zyodal Tower, full of books of ghost stories, monsters, urban legends, and various unsolved mysteries. She's very organized and anal about things, would make a great librarian. Sarah has always hoped the three of them would remain together forever. Best friends always. Maybe that's why she disliked and mistrusted Kay's love, Lady Sammidoran, so much in the beginning. She was afraid Sam would break up the gang. Unlike her cousin, Lady Kylos, Sarah's never bothered much with the Canaan social scene that many ladies partake in. Sarah's an adventurer at heart, bold and tenacious, always ready for a new mystery to tackle. Brash and opinionated, Sarah's rough and ready personality can rub people the wrong way. Though it took her a long time to accept Lady Sammidoran, Sarah always admired her strength, and now adores her as Kay's wife and a member of the gang, though they tend to fight constantly. Next character, Lord Phillip of Blanchefort. The twin brother of Lady Sarah, Phillip is a study in contrast with her. While Sarah is loud and forceful and a bit impulsive, Phillip is quiet and cerebral, always taking things in and assessing the situation. Everything Phillip puts his mind to, he does well. A brilliant pilot, Phillip learned to fly his father's Goshawk ship at a very young age. His uncle, Captain Davidge, always hoped Phillip would join the Stellar Fleet as a helmsman. Like his sister, though, Phillip loves to investigate mysteries and savor the thrill of an adventure. He's just not as noisy about it, letting Sarah do all the talking. Like Sarah, he considers his cousin Kay his best friend. A ruggedly handsome fellow, Phillip has always had many ladies hoping to court with him at a social level. However, Phillip has always found the socialites of Cana too tame for his liking. He has a weakness for strong-willed, verbose, powerful women, those much like his sister in spirit. On an adventure in the Zaffin city of Wham, Phillip met just such a woman, Thomasina the 19th of Wham, a strong matriarch of the old House of Woolover, and he fell in love, though he refused to admit it. Thomasina fell for him as well, and, quite literally, chased him through the streets of Wham in an epic battle of wills, Phillip savoring the chase. Eventually, Phillip proclaimed his love for her. They agreed not to marry until Phillip finishes his schooling, Thomasina reluctantly remaining far away in Wham. And the final major character, Magistrate Kylos of Tusck. Growing up on wild Anaris near the city of Tusck, Kylos was the 11th daughter of a very impoverished family. Growing up into a tall, strong young woman, she married a childhood friend with genius IQ. Struggling to support themselves, Kai joined the Stellar Marines. She had a rough time of it, her temper getting the better of her time and time again. She was selected from a work detail to infiltrate the fleet warbird Seeker and gather information on its captain, Lord Davidge of Blanchefort. Upon meeting Captain Davidge, Kai was enchanted and the two became fast friends. Kai sailed at Davidge's side for 30 years, becoming his first officer, and eventually joining the Stellar Fleet. When Captain Davidge and his new Countess Sigillis had children, Kai was a perfect mentor for them, watching them grow into young adulthood. One day, Kai would follow Davidge's son Kay into the darkness of the Temple of the Exploding Head. Eventually, Kai would have a son of her own, Sebastian. She retired from the fleet and was offered a job as the Magistrate of Blanchefort village. She was given the key to Pendar Tower in the west end of the castle and moved in with her husband. Her husband is a professor with a reputation for finding answers to difficult questions. She also has an everlasting tweeter bird given to her by Lady Poe of Blanchefort 20 years prior. With these resources available to her, Kai is known as a manhunter, able to solve difficult cases. And that is a quick rundown of the major characters that appear in the House of Bloodstein. Again, all previously introduced in other books. Kay, Sam, and his cousins all started in Book 3 of the Temple of the Exploding Head series, while Kylos, has been in since book 1. She's always been the sidekick, the first officer to Captain Davidge, always adding a sense of country common sense as a counterpoint to the things going on. There are many more characters that are introduced in this book, so I'm really not going to touch upon those. And I will begin the first chapter of the House of Bloodstein probably in a week or two. So I hope you join us. I hope that was helpful, as you're not going to get much more in the books. I'm just going to proceed with the story. With any luck, by the end, these characters will seem like old friends. Something I think I do pretty well. This is Ren Presents. I'm your host, Ren. See you in the funnies.